Hi, today we are at the Royal Adelaide Show with Scott Eames in front of his beautiful art installation. Hi Scott, how are you?
How are you, Alex? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. And what is the special about Royal Adelaide Show for you?
Well, you know, I used to come here when I was a kid, and yeah, I always loved it. I had really good memories, particularly on you know, going to the roller coaster, going on the Mad Mouse when I was a little kid with my dad, and coming off completely white because I was so scared. And but yeah, I was invited to do this a couple of years ago, and I just really used all my memories and you know, my feelings from when I was a childhood, and the imagination kicked in. And
how long did it take to get that organized?
very quickly. I was invited to do it, and I think the show started early September, maybe the 4th, I think. And I had about 2 months prior notice to doing the work, and that's when beautiful horse.
Sorry, bro.
You're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had about two months prior notice, and then I started doing all my research and went through the archives here at the show and found all these beautiful pictures of the giraffe, which was actually a proper carousel ride, I think from the early 80s, which would have been about the time when I was coming here. And you know, the clowns that turn around with their mouths open. So I was looking at that, and then just all these images started just popping into my head.
So what was the most challenging part of working on this project?
Everything's a challenge. I mean, I've never done one this big before, so that was a challenge. But I sort of approach everything fresh and new, so I look at everything as a challenge. I never get complacent. I'm always just staying flowing.
All those people who are portrayed in this beautiful mural, are they just random generic people? And I believe that they could be purposely chosen to be a part of it.
they are. So one of the ladies that worked here, she no longer works here. She was one of the organisers of the whole artworks here, Katie Johnson. So that's her little girl. So she asked me if I could paint her little girl in the painting. So that's actually my sister Karina in the 80s. So I went through all our photo albums of when we were going to the show and playing and stuff, and I found this picture of her. I didn't tell her, I just surprised her. And then this is my nephew, Jacob. I won't say his last name, he'll get upset with me. That's my nephew, Jacob. This is my mum, Pat. And while I was painting this work, the Queen passed away. And the Queen and Prince Philip visited the Showgrounds twice in the 50s and the 80s. So it was actually my mum that suggested it. She said, it'd be great if you painted the Queen and Prince Philip saying goodbye. So that's how that came about. All the ball clowns from my imagination, and all the ball clowns coming in from the distance, I just made it flow. It flows nicely, I think. And of course Kev the clown, Kevin Handorf. Yeah, so that's a real guy. He'll probably kill me for saying his name. But he's a photographer, and he's also a geologist, really intelligent, like normal guy. And here he is, like a giant clown head coming out of the ground. He offered to be the clown because I said, I'm thinking of doing a clown coming out of the ground, and I was going to do a big full-size clown. And then I thought, no, just a head, but a really big head. And he looked at me and he said, oh, I'll be the clown, I'll model for you. So he sat for me in my studio multiple times, and I sculpted his portrait in a giant size, and now he's the clown that comes out of the ground, and he's known as Kev the Clown. So
is it temporarily or permanent display?
No, I hope it's permanent, but you know what things are like in life. They come along and demolish things, but yeah, I'm told it's permanent, so hopefully it stands here for a very long time. I've used all top quality materials. I used Eames Solar Shield paint, which has a guarantee of 20, 25 years, something like that.
Well, and finally, the area of the Royal Adelaide Show is huge, and how people who come into Royal Adelaide Show can locate your artwork here.
Yeah, so this is runs alongside Goodwood Road, and you've got Rose Streets and Leader Streets. I'd say this is about in between both those streets on the Goodwood Road side. This is known as the Caravan Park, and they use it as the horse stables area when the show is on.
I hope it would help people to come and see this beautiful artwork sooner or later, because it seems to stay in for a while. And
Yeah, hopefully.
and thank you, Scott, for sharing your stories.
You're welcome.
See you. Thank you.